going on, everybody, and welcome to the channel. Today we got some news clips wrapped up for you all in one to enjoy and see what's been going on in the world. So let's get right into it, my friends.
Well, police in California releasing this video of 3 suspected shoplifters who were shocked to find out after their arrest that stealing in the state is now a felony thanks to the new Prop 36 law that went into effect last week.
Oops.
It's a felony? New laws. Stealing is a felony. And this is Orange County. They don't play.
Orange County, California District Attorney Todd Pritzker joins us.
Wow, my friends, check that out. I mean, holy, whoa. You mean we can be charged? Something can happen? Oh my goodness.
Now, so Todd, I think it's great to see that now finding out the hard way that previous behavior is no longer going to be tolerated.
You know what's great about that video is the woman that is speaking on screen on the right, she's on probation to our county for stealing last year, but when she gets in the car this time thinking there's no additional consequences, she's explaining, right, oh my God, it's a felony to her friend who obviously was clueless. And now she's looking at not only a felony, both of them, but the one on the right who's speaking is also looking at a probation violation. The good news is the message is out that in my county, where I'm the district attorney, we're the 6th largest DA's office in the country, we don't play, okay? Yeah. And what's great, and the message is, you know, getting around, LA County and my county, we touch here in California. We share a border, and we just got a new DA in Los Angeles, and I'm telling you, Nathan Hochman, he doesn't play either. San Francisco, we got a new DA. Oakland, we're getting a new DA. So we're changing the landscape in California.
All right, good.
Our governor, Gavin Newsom, and our state legislature, they don't get it. Yeah. They still play, we don't play.
So Todd, also voters in California recently just got fed up with all these smash and grabs, crime everywhere as a result of a lack of serious consequences for rampant shoplifting. I mean, Prop 36 passed in every single California county, and as you say, the governor he was against the proposition passing, but the people really wanted some severe changes when it came to what was happening in California. How is this proposition going to help you clean up the crime that's been happening all over the place?
Well, it gives us the ability to charge people with prior convictions, as we saw with the Fresno case. Somebody who had prior convictions before would just get another misdemeanor, never show up, I mean, never take it seriously. So we have the ability to charge felonies for repeat shoplifters. We can accumulate the dollar amount for repeat thefts by an individual, so we don't have to wait for it to hit 950. all of their open cases against them to add up to the cumulative 950 for drug.
That is, that's gonna put a stop to a lot of that.
Dealers, we can charge felonies for individuals who use drugs with repeat offenses. We have the ability on smash and grabs to charge when there's 2 or more individuals, like in the case in the video, they come in and they commit a smash and grab. We can charge them with a new crime. And we have the advisement on hard drugs, Alexandra's Law. So if you are a seller of drugs and you kill somebody, we can charge you with murder. The fact of the matter is, in Orange County, not only do we not play, but unlike Mary and Joseph during, Christmas, we have room at our inn. We're one of the few counties that have plenty of jail space.
Wow, they got plenty of jail space, and they welcoming you, welcome to come and get you some jail time.
Welcome back. As unexplained drones leaving millions on edge across the country, one former defense official recently issued this warning about the government's secrecy around UFOs.
Excessive secrecy has led to grave misdeeds.
Tell us about it.
Loyal civil servants, military personnel, and the public, all to hide the fact that we are not alone in the cosmos. If we approach the UAP topic in the same way as we, as Americans, have met other challenges, we can restore our faith in our government institutions. I believe that we as Americans can handle the truth, and I also believe the world deserves the truth.
Yeah, Fox News contributor and special and former
Yeah, I believe if you know the truth, come on, man, spit out the truth. Let us know what that truth is. We need to know. We want to know, man.
Special Operations Intel Analyst and drone expert Brett Velkovitz joins us now. Brett, thank you for your service. Thanks for joining us. We listen to that, and he's talking about extraterrestrial, but we really don't have to go outside of our stratosphere to see our government being very secretive and not very trustworthy. I'm looking at the timeline here on these drones, and you have Mayorkas at DHS briefing and saying no big deal. You have Admiral Kirby saying it. These are people who lied to our faces about the border and about the Chinese spy balloon. If that's the credibility and you're saying there's nothing to worry about here, that makes me think there's something to worry about here.
Yeah, definitely, bro. When they tell you there ain't nothing to worry about, don't worry about it. Just look the other way. There's something to worry about. Let's hear about it.
Yeah, that's the issue, is they've destroyed the credibility with the American people. And look, I want to believe there's some other form of life out there just like the rest of us. And I do have a real curiosity about what's up on our stars, but I'm also pragmatic about it and realistic. And to say there's some alleged secret government group that for decades has been covering up evidence of aliens and hiding UFOs in their possession seems a little far-fetched to me. Frankly, I don't think the current government is smart enough to do that. But
I don't know if that aliens or other life forms exist or not. I'm not sure of that. Really don't care. As long as they're not attacking us and like a terrorist, then hey man, I ain't got no problems.
And then these sources are always some whistleblowers allegedly too afraid to come forward. What would be the incentive of that? And also, why does no one ever seem to be able to show me clear photos of these UFOs? And that was one of the issues with these recent drone sightings is the more people across the country who sent me photos of these drones, the more I started to understand many things in the sky are being misidentified. People are finally starting to look up. They're wondering what's up there now. And they're seeing a lot of things that they don't recognize. And it's not their fault. The problem is our government hasn't done a good job protecting us from modern day threats by explaining what is regularly above us and what threats we're going to face at home sooner than later. And Joey, the rapid innovation right now of lethal drone technology over the years due to ongoing wars overseas has forever changed the ways wars are going to be fought. In Ukraine, for instance, an estimated 70 to 80% of the daily attacks that take place on the front lines are conducted with drones. You've got even North Korea.
Yeah, why wouldn't they be using drones for that? I mean, come on. The reasonable thing to do would be using drones. You don't want to have people having to go up on the front line. Drones and all, like with anything else, with social media, weapons, the guns, where people talk about gun laws and drones and all these things. Everything in this world can be used for most time good or evil, and that's what we have to deal with all things, is trying to control that evil, I guess.
Soldiers who have entered the fight recently being taken out left and right by these kamikaze handheld drones. And frankly, we're not ready for this. Our military is not prepared for that style of fight. We put too much money in the wrong thing, and there's just a lot of arrogance on our current government administration that thinks they've got it all figured out. But we're never going to fight another war without drones, and our adversaries, they surely get it. I mean, there was a Chinese defense contractor who just signed an agreement for over 1 million handheld kamikaze drones to be produced for the Chinese government before 2026. That scale of production doesn't exist in the U.S. They get it, but our government's not prioritizing it.
Yeah, I've done a lot of coverage here, different shows on Fox about drones, because I have friends in that industry coming from the EOD world, and it is the absolute arms race of the future. You talk about us spending money. We spend all this money on the F-35, and you can do that with a Walmart drone now. You can implement something that easy. But when we take a step back and look at what's happening, we're kind of honed in on New Jersey, but the lead up to this, I think, created a lot of the hysteria. You had, I think the first thing reported on were drones going near military bases overseas. Then you have a Chinese citizen being caught trying to get back to China after flying a drone near a military base. Then you start to have this happening in the Northeast. And I guess my question to you is, my kind of take on this is a lot of it is coming from people actually finally looking up and paying attention. But is there, within all of this, a layer of there is something specific going on that we need answers on?
Need answers. And look, the recent drone sightings just frankly showed how vulnerable we are as a nation, and that we are no longer in control of our airspace, and the government's lack of adequate response just made matters worse. But I understand why they were like that, frankly. It's because they were caught off guard that how little they even knew themselves, because
Yeah.
we don't have the systems in place at the federal and state levels to monitor, identify, disrupt these rogue drone threats. And my concern is our government's just going to wait until somebody dies to do anything. And
Well, Biden's over there sleeping, taking a nap, getting ready to head on out the door. He don't really give a toot anymore about anything. Heck, I don't even know how much time on this planet Earth that he even has that he's even worried about. Not to be rude or try to be anything about it. I don't wish anything on the man, but not anything bad, even though here we go, I don't know if he cares about the American people, but I don't want to stoop to that level. I'm a caring human being, God-fearing man, and I care about people.
that's not acceptable. That's because the U.S. doesn't have a clear government-wide policy on how to deal with unauthorized drone incursions. It's a national security threat. All the agencies like to say it's someone else's issue, but we know where the bottleneck is as the drone community. It's the FBI's drone department. It's the FAA's UAS office. These are the two most important offices for domestic drone defense, yet they don't even know how to properly mitigate these threats, and they definitely don't possess the widespread technology across the U.S. to stop it.
Yeah, a lot of people say 9/11 happened because the agencies didn't talk to each other. Let's pray that's not the problem here. But you're an expert.
I don't believe that about 9/11. I think that a lot of people knew what was going on with 9/11. I think that even our government knew what was going on with 9/11. I think a lot of people think that the government knew what was going on with 9/11. Wasn't that when Bush was Bushing in charge and when that was going on, I believe? Yeah, I think so. But yeah, that's just a whole nother ton of conspiracies, I guess, and some of them might not even be conspiracies, might be truth.
You're getting in on this. You're part of a Fox Nation special, Close Encounters of the Drone Kind. It's streaming now. Let's listen.
What?
One theory that got some traction was that the U.S. government had dispatched the drones, or perhaps a Pentagon training exercise for the U.S. military.
I find it hard to believe that there's some super secret project in the works, especially because I used to work on a lot of these projects. I used to test our own military's defenses with drone technology.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. You can watch Close Encounters of the Drone
on
Fox Nation. I'm going to watch it today. Brett, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you.
Wow, yeah, that was that's going to be kind of...
Elect Trump takes office. According to an internal memo obtained by Politico, Newsom is planning an immigrant support network to connect at-risk individuals, their families, and communities with legal services, schools, labor unions, local governments, etc. Ron Vitello served as Border Patrol chief during President Trump's first term. He's also been the acting director of ICE as well as a deputy commissioner of CBP. Ron, hope you had a fantastic Christmas. California is really trying to get out there, according to Gavin Newsom, in pushing back on the effort to finally get the border chaos under control. What do you make of this?
Yeah,
Merry
what do
Christmas,
you?
Griff. This is destructive leadership shown by Gavin Newsom in California. We just had an election on November 5th. People voted for secure borders, safe streets, and knowing that the president was going to initiate a deportation effort, not just because he wants to, but because we just had about 12 million people enter the country and be encountered by CBP crossing the border illegally. Something must...
12 million people. Do you hear that, guys? 12 million people. 12 million people can you illegally, and I cannot believe that anybody would want this. This just blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind.
Done about what just happened over this last 4 years. And now he wants to use the state's funds and the state infrastructure to flout federal law. This is a state that has some of the highest income taxes in the country, some of the highest sales tax in the country, and it got a $68 billion deficit, billion with a B. And so he's going to use taxpayer resources to protect who exactly? People who are in the country illegally, who broke the law to be there, and have also broken the law in the jurisdictions in which they live in California. And so this is destructive leadership shown by Gavin Newsom, and it is not what people voted for. It's not what the people of California need, but that's unfortunately what they have, this terrible leadership in the likes of Gavin Newsom in California, who's going to destroy that state if he hasn't already gone a long way to do it.
Well, Ron, we were just showing our viewers video of migrants crossing in the San Diego sector in Jacumba, California, where I spent a lot of time reporting this past year. And Governor Gavin Newsom has actually come down to that location where we are seeing migrants coming from all over the world, from Syria, Libya, Afghanistan, and an unprecedented number of Chinese, all of which potentially could pose a national security risk, some of them hitting the terror screening database. Yet Gavin Newsom is saying that he is going to lean in and further protect migrants in the sanctuary jurisdiction. What possibly is his motivation?
Well, they're going.
So what do you guys think about this? Do you agree with this? Are you for, protecting our borders? Are you for not protecting our borders? I think most people obviously are for protecting borders. You just can't have people come in. I don't think you would let just anybody come into your house. Maybe some people would, but I don't think that most people would just let strangers into their house without not knowing anything about them and just let them stay. I don't think so.
Well, because of the wokeness of his politics. And you're right, it's been out of control in the San Diego border for the last 4 years, give or take. And he just wants more of that. He wants to incentivize people who break the law by coming into the United States to come into California. What for? Because he thinks it's good for him politically. He went to the White House not to complain about what's going on at the border. He went to the White House to measure the drapes. This guy has no business being in leadership in California or any other state. He is not helping the citizens who work hard and pay their taxes and want safe streets and secure borders.
He's prompting some of his employees to speak out. This is the Department of Social Services spokesperson, the agency that drafted that memo, by the way, telling the New York Post this, quote, "This document is an internal and deliberative draft document meant for internal discussions as part of a number of possible considerations given the incoming federal administration's public remarks." It's interesting in the statement they say, well, possible considerations, even they don't want to go both feet in like Newsom did.
This is not in the interest of the United States. It's not in the interest of people who want a secure border or safe streets in California. This is the wrong direction to flout federal law, and we knew this was coming as of November 5th. Him getting out there and pretending that this problem doesn't exist in California or that he's going to make it better somehow by using the state's infrastructure and the state's limited resources to protect illegal aliens who also break the law in the state. It's the wrong direction for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
But that there he is. He's trying to put himself between the rule of law and the president's efforts to secure the border and have safe streets in California.
And Ron, just in the 15 seconds I've got left, what do you foresee with Trump and Tom Homan's challenge going into California? Is this going to be a problem?
It's already a problem in the state. It's a sanctuary against cooperation with ICE. They're just going to have to work hard and leverage that activity. The men and women of the front line know how to do this. They can do it professionally and safely with or without Gavin Newsom.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us this evening, and that's your news. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you on the next one.